Well, okay. Um, so is being grateful or is gratitude enough? Well, it's an interesting. Well, I started looking at the whole business of gratitude all month. I was actually telling Kathy that I used Chat GPT to see what it had to say, and yeah, it was interesting. It was useful stuff, but it gathers all the information from all the human beings on the planet, so everybody that had stuff to say about gratitude was in this thing. It was very good. It was only three. It condenses a lot. Anyway, I've been looking at it, and then I had in the blurb that I sent out was that sometimes you just don't feel grateful, and things are not always, we're quote unquote, this is the time of year to be grateful, but like with my family circumstance, for instance, I could easily not be grateful. So, and so it's sort of like my friend said to me, well, yeah, you hit the nail on the head. Sometimes it's not like that. And somebody says, well, be grateful. I want to slap them. Yes, I understand. Like, because in those moments, that's the last thing I feel or the last thing I want to feel. Okay, well, what about that? What happens when that happens? So I want to kind of unwrap a little bit about gratitude, and then we'll take a look at it more closely and how we can do something about it. So gratitude is a very special state. You could say, I say, it's the state of spirit. So when we consider that we are each an expression of God or each an expression of spirit, and we do it in our own unique ways, just like flowers do. There's a whole field of poppies, but every one of them is unique. And some are big and some are small, and some are bright and some are dull. That's the way it is with us. We're all very unique expressions of spirit. And we live day to day choosing, or first off, hopefully, being responsible for that. So it's useful to consider that as a human being, we are expressions of spirit, and then we get to be responsible for it. Well, once we're responsible, just as a human being, we have a choice as to whether to be grateful or not. So that's something to consider, being responsible as a human being for being grateful. We don't have to be, but we can. And very often, when a circumstance occurs that we don't like, the more we can be responsible for it, see our part in it. I mean, if you want to go to the biggest extreme, see that we're creating it all, okay, that's fine. That's a stretch for most people. It's a stretch for me to consider that I'm creating everything. Okay, well, as an expression of spirit, that's true. But nevertheless, when it comes down to a flat tire, that's really sometimes hard to get. I'm driving along and somebody smashes into me, that's hard to get. But that's an opportunity to be grateful. Well, and I'll explain that a little bit later. But right now, being responsible is a great, big, huge step towards being grateful. And that's as a human being living life on planet Earth. And gratitude itself shows up firstly in awareness. Now, you have to be aware of gratitude. You have to be aware of being grateful. You can only be aware of it when you're responsible. When you're responsible for how you feel and you're responsible for how you act, you then can be aware that, oh, gratitude's a choice. Until you own yourself in your life, you cannot see that I have the choice of being grateful. And I'm talking about authentic gratitude, not just, yeah, thanks. Not just saying you're grateful because it's the thing to say. This time of year, gratitude's written in all kinds of stuff, but that doesn't mean everybody's grateful. And then some people, when they're not being responsible, they act grateful to manipulate a circumstance or a person. That's not what I'm talking about. So first aspect of gratitude is awareness. The second aspect of gratitude is action. When you are living being grateful, I'm going to say that again, when you're living being grateful, you naturally share your love. You naturally share your abundance. Gratitude is expressed through you in action. in caring, taking care of people, going that extra mile, just saying hello, just complimenting somebody. All of that is an expression of gratitude when you're living from it, not trying to get to it, but living from it. It's also, as Mary Morrissey says, most of the time we are grateful as a knee-jerk reaction. In other words, we're grateful when something happens. We're grateful when we have the meal we like. We're grateful when we get to buy the car we want. We're grateful when circumstances go our way. We are grateful after the fact. How about grateful before the fact? It takes being responsible and being aware to be living from gratitude. And then there's gratitude as transformation. And as transformation, that means when we have lots of blessings and beauty in our lives. Just look around. But we also have unpleasant, that's the mild way of saying it, circumstances. And those circumstances can grant us something. They can grant us resilience. They can shape us and can cause us to look to the future through a different window. So for instance, like with my 3 female family members that are, my daughter's in her 50s and my grandkids are in their 30s, and they're struggling with their relationships. Well, from my vantage point, and this is what I've been saying to them, they have what a friend of mine calls a female genetic disorder, where they twist themselves into pretzels to be what the guy wants them to be. So it's a time for them to claim themselves, to own themselves in their relationship, to be a full, complete person the way they are and the way they are not, and have that work in their relationship. And if their partner isn't up to owning that in them, then they're perhaps not the right partner. That's that for them to sort out. But in any case, all 3 of them have the opportunity to be a stand for themselves. And that's what I've been talking to them about. And that's what they're learning. And I'm learning out of this breakdown in their relationships. And while it's unpleasant, it's very valuable and it's very transformative. And as we move through this, we're constantly working on being grateful. So gratitude is something we come from and is the energy of spirit itself. So I want to stop for a second and give you each a chance. Just take a moment. You can close your eyes if you want to, and you don't have to. Think of something that has you feel grateful. And so I'm asking if you can to get the feeling of gratitude. Not just the thought. One of the things the thing that I am most grateful for is my experience and expression of spirit. My relationship with spirit is profound. It's the thing I am most grateful for. And when I feel that, my whole body lights up. I'm warm. I'm at peace. Oh, life looks so different. So let yourself get into that space. And once you're there, acknowledge to yourself what it's like for you. How does your body feel? What energy are you feeling within yourself? How does life, even if you have your eyes shut, how does life look from there? Let yourself experience it as fully as possible. And slowly bring yourself back now and keep that energy alive in you. So again, stay in that space. Now that energy that you're experiencing now is you living from gratitude. That energy, that feeling that you have right now is what I'm inviting you to live from day to day. What if you walked around life feeling this? What if everything you did and said came from this energy, this space, this wondrousness? You don't even have to think of how things would be different. All you'd have to do is start doing it, and things would unfold how they unfold. But it wouldn't matter because you're grateful. You're living from gratitude. That's the work. See, that's you directly connected to spirit. If the energy of spirit was like a hose, your hose is fully on blast. It is wide open. And when you're not in this space of gratitude, it's crimped a little, sometimes a lot, and there's only dribbles coming through because spirit is never not with you. I mean, you wouldn't be here if spirit wasn't animating you. So when you allow yourself to be in this space and to operate from there, you are not only expressing spirit, but you're expressing gratitude. So it's no longer a knee-jerk expression. It is where you're living from. And then from there, love, joy, abundance, compassion, inspiration, all of that come from you. And you touch others and sprinkle them with it and make that available to them. So is gratitude enough? Oh, you betcha. And as a matter of fact, it's essential. So take that with you and take that energy with you and let that be the gift you bring this holiday season. That's my work with my family, with all the stuff that's going on, is to bring that blessing of gratefulness and gratitude. Trust me, I am grateful for all of them and all the wonders and the challenges that they bring me. I love every one of them. And my job is to keep that alive within our family. And actually, that's all of our jobs. So I invite you to do that this holiday season and give yourself, see, you're giving yourself the gift of connecting with spirit. Oh, what could be better? It's the best gift you could possibly give. You don't need a single thing at Christmas when you can do that. And when you can do that around others, oh my gosh, you can light up a room. That's Christmas. Now that's real Christmas. So I invite you there. Now, I'm not saying it's necessarily easy. Easy for me to say, not necessarily easy to do, but that's our job. That's our job as human beings, is to do that, to live as much from gratitude as possible and to smear it all over the place like peanut butter. So I invite you to do that this season and to enjoy yourself while you're doing it. Let us pray. Ah, dear Spirit, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for the gift of this awareness of how you express yourself through us in gratitude. Wow. Never looked at it like that before. It is such a joy. It is such a joy. And on your behalf, I invite us to take on a practice of not getting out of bed until we feel grateful every morning. Till we're in sync with you. And from there, we'll do our days. Thank you for the gift of being human. Thank you for the gift of being on this planet. Thank you for the gift of knowing you are present in me and expressed through me and all of us. We are most blessed and most grateful. Amen. Blessed be, and so it is.
All right, let's show a little love to Rita Reneaux.